We're going live.
Okay,
we're live. Good. Okay. Well, I've been talking to you lot for the last 5 minutes, thinking no one can hear us, Louise. Louise, yes, we're on. Louise is saying yes, we're on. I've been talking about answering questions that's been coming up. I've been jumping in. And Louise hadn't pushed the go live button. Why have it in blue, to be honest? Why have the go live button in blue? The go live button should be in red, shouldn't it? Because it doesn't stand out. Well. So can everybody hear? Yes, you're on. Good, hard to hear you before you're on. Good.
Okay.
So we're on.
We are on.
We're on. Good. And you can hear Louise, can you?
Can you hear me?
Just make sure we can all hear. You can hear and see you both. Thank you, Romy. Thank you so much indeed.
Excellent.
Yes, so I shall go back over what I was saying. It says excellent connection. Oh, deja vu.
You need to be live, though, don't you, to benefit from that?
We're the only ones who benefit from this. We do have a little bit of, what did I say? Buffering. It wasn't buffering, was it? Lagging. And I said, the only people who are going to be lagging is going to be me and Louise. And Louise said,
you speak for yourself.
Thank you very much. And I said, yes. Okay, that's about enough to chit-chat.
I'll tell you what we have done this week, or say what we have done, I have done.
It's
I
Monday.
have made a report of
yes,
everybody's feedback, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And we had hundreds of feedback that Louise has gone through. She's collated and she's made me a report. I've never been given a report in my life before. I haven't. I was presented.
I like writing reports.
I was presented with the feedback report, and I was told, have a read. We've got to have an action plan.
Yeah, of course we have. Yeah, there's no point doing a report if you're not going to have an action plan.
Exactly. And I've read half of it.
Yes.
And I've been thinking of ways that, yes, we can improve. A lot of people said they love At the Bench as it is, but I think there's quite a few things that we can improve.
You can always do better. We can always do better.
Yes, we don't want to rest upon our laurels.
No.
And we will always find a way of improving. And the only way that we can find ways of improving is to ask the members, which is what we did. And we had hundreds, didn't we?
We did, and we had lots and lots of common themes as well. So lots and lots of people who had just not big issues, but little snags and little things that would make your lives easier as members, which we can actually implement, I think, fairly easily.
Yes.
So we wouldn't know about it unless we're actually in the front end of the site all the time. So it was really good. It was very insightful, and thank you all so much for...
absolutely. And things we never even thought about as well, which is really good. And certain things will take a little bit more implementing than others. Our website guy, he's on holiday this week.
Is he? He's allowed a holiday.
Holiday, come on.
He has to put up with you.
Before he left, I gave him a list of things to do, and he went, but Andrew, I'm on holiday next week. I went, and?
Oh my goodness.
And?
That's shocking.
And, well,
Leave the poor man alone now for a week.
I will. Okay, but we've got lots of things to do, lots of things to change on the website.
Lots of things to plan.
Lots of things to plan, and it's going to get better and better and better. And before we go any further, don't forget it is still August, and we do have our £99 membership. You don't get a flake with it. Oh, you could incorporate that into some marketing, couldn't you? It's a 99.
Could do,
Flake not included, but I think only the British would actually understand that, unless other countries have a 99, and that's like a vanilla ice cream with a flake in it. Anyway, that's beside the point. atb.yt/99. And before Louise puts it on the chat, if you go to atb.yt/99.
What am I doing? It's not in my stream deck, is it?
Don't know. I haven't published it. I haven't put it in there. So if you go to here, if you're not a member of At the Bench and you've only got another just over about a week to take advantage of this, atb.yt, remember atthebench.yt, YouTube? Very good. 99. You can get a year's membership to At the Bench for only £99, and it renews at £99. This is what we do. We try and reward our members Other websites out there will charge you the same again year on year on year. You shouldn't have to pay the same as what you paid last year. You have loyalty. We reward our loyal members. It'll renew at £99 instead of 180. So it usually is £180 for the year. No, it's not. It's for £99 for the rest of August. So grab yourself a bargain. We are giving away tools every single month. Tools, about £300 worth of tools. So you could pay £99 and next month win £300 worth of tools. Just saying you could, but it all goes in to a draw and it is purely drawn at random. We've had a lady in France won 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Last month then we had Sina in London. I can't remember the lady's name in France, I do apologise. She chose Andrea.
I think.
That's right, yep. She chose the Bangle Forming die set from Durston. Last month, Sina chose the Doming set from Durston. This month we've got, is it the Shank Bender, we've got the Jump Ring Maker, and I'm not quite sure what else was there. Disc Cutter, can't remember. But they're around about £250, £300 worth, which I think is a bargain. And then we've also got flex shafts coming up towards Christmas time. We've got Benchmate systems from GRS as well coming up towards Christmas time. So if you're not a member and you want to be in with a chance, I know you're asking me, do you know what, I should be on one of these shopping channels, don't you? What have you got to do to win these? I hear you say, you don't have to do anything. All you got to do is be a paid member of At The Bench to be in with a chance of winning these tools. We don't ask you to do anything, jump through hoops, make things, submit things or whatever. We don't want you to do that because life is busy enough as it is. All you got to do is be a paid member and you could win. Simple as that. And then also, there's another thing that we've done recently, is that there are several people on the forum, on the At The Bench forum, that have been really, really helpful, haven't they?
Yes.
And as a result of that, we're sending out some bits and pieces, aren't we, that went in the post today.
Yes, they did. Jason's taken the post, which I think
he's just
gone.
taken them now. So we've basically, again, we reward our members in every possible way. We've given you £81 off a year's membership and we're giving you away tools and bits and pieces as well. Good, cool. Okay, that's enough advertising. Should we go? Yes. Oh no, we've got to do a question and answer, haven't we now?
Oh, yes, that's what we're here for. I thought that's what you meant. Okay.
Well, we have to do a question and answer. So, Louise, do you have your questions ready?
I do. Annie has become a full member. It is fabulous.
Yes, oh, sorry.
Yeah, you need to do your little bit. Go on then.
But thank you, Annie, for that. I do appreciate it.
You've been naughty today.
Well, I'm sorry. I haven't.
You had a Monday morning mump on this morning. You did, didn't you? You were in a really bad mood.
Monday morning mump.
I do so love it when you get cross.
My crossness is valid. If I'm cross about something that's not relevant, or I understand, but what I was cross about was valid, so I frothed a bit, didn't I? I do froth even when I'm not on air. I do. I have to admit.
More so, I think.
More so, really? Yeah. Oh, don't get me started now.
Okay, so you have a question. Right. Do your little intro.
Okay, hang on. It is Monday, the 28th. We got the surveyor going to the house tomorrow. It is. Start again. It is Monday, the 23rd. Do that face again, Louise? What was that face again? What? It is Monday, the 23rd of August, 4 p.m, time for our question and answer. And there's lots of questions coming in ready for me, the young man, to answer. So, Louise, may we have our first question, please?
Yes, I should have been looking for it and not putting that same face. Okay, Rebecca is saying, when forging a four-sided silver ingot, 12mm by 12mm, can all four sides be forged without heating the silver to straw red colour, or just the two sides opposite of each other?
Okay, so when it comes to annealing, what you're going to make sure is that the cross-section, obviously 12mm by 12, that's a big ingot, isn't it? So there's your cross-section, there's your ingot there, okay? So obviously, this is the center, and you really have to get the whole metal to the same temperature. So if you heat in this direction here, the heat is going to travel through. And it's going to take a while for the same temperature here as it is here. So yes, what you can do.
There's more. Sorry, followed by annealing and forging the opposite two sides.
So what I would do is I would heat up that, then I would flip the thingy-majiggy, the ingot over, yep. So you're on this, yep. Then you heat this side. So you heat all 4 sides. And some people have said you should allow a minute.
The question is about forging, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You should allow about a minute of annealing. Is it per millimetre? Something like that? I can't remember. Was it 5 mil? 5 mil? Anyway, whatever. So obviously the centre here has to be the same temperature as all the sides. So what I would do is not anneal 2 sides. I would anneal all 4 sides and give it the same amount of time per face. And then and heat it quite slowly. Don't direct a really, really hard flame upon it, but do it nice and slowly so the piece heats up gradually and allows the heat to penetrate into the metal. And if you do all 4 sides, the heat only has to travel as far as the middle then, doesn't it, so to speak, as opposed to heating one side and it traveling all the way through here. So do it that way, then you can come along and forge, and then you can in theory forge all 4 sides, and it's going to make your life a lot easier. Does that make sense? Yeah, is that what we're on about forging? Just forge 2, heat up 2, but forge 2.
Is that okay, Rebecca? Is that what you?
Yeah, so I would heat up, because if you heat up one side and you forge this side, the metal is still hard over here. But I think if you heat up all 4 sides fairly evenly, when you start to forge and anneal and to shape it, it's going to be the same all the way through, as opposed to just having to anneal 2 sides and then hammer in. But these sides then are hard. Yeah. Do it nice and evenly all the way around, and you should have a much better experience when it comes to forging. Next question.
I missed the question. I'm so sorry, voices. What is the best way to store steel tools and dies and punches so they don't get rusted?
You can get these little packets of silica gel. They come in everything these days.
Also, Dominga sets and so forth. How to store and protect.
What, sorry? Dominga?
Dominga.
Don't know. Doming?
Dominga?
Doming.
Oh, doming. Sorry, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
That's okay. No, doming sets. Yeah. So what I would do is get these little packets of silica gel. You can get them everywhere. They come in suitcases when you buy them. They come in your little jewelry boxes when you buy them. They are everywhere. They absorb moisture. I would be inclined to perhaps, if you're going to be storing some tools, get a nice sealed Tupperware plastic container with like handles on the top that will seal the lid. I would put some silica gel in that to absorb the heat. If you're going to be storing them for a little while, I would get a little bit of light engine oil, machine oil, sewing machine oil, 3-in-1 oil, something like that on a rag, and wipe all the exposed surfaces and then put it inside the box. That will stop the moisture attacking the steel. Silica gel will absorb the moisture, something like that. If you've got something like a rolling mill or a doming set, you can always make a little cover to go over the top of it. If you make that out of something like cloth, you could always put some oil on that cloth, so no moisture will be absorbed into that cloth. I wouldn't necessarily use something like a plastic bag or anything like that, because if it's hot on the outside but cold on the inside, you're going to get condensation. So plastic is not good, but a nice oily rag put over your doming set should be just fine. But the silica gel packets are absolutely brilliant. Don't throw them in the bin. Save them up, keep them away from your pets because they're dangerous towards pets, but put them in a tin, put them in a bag, and then when you need them, you've always got them handy. You can chuck them in the little containers and it keeps them nice and moisture free. Or you can also buy in the hardware stores and places from Amazon the moisture crystals as well. So if you've got something that's large that you want to keep nice and dry, you can always use those and they will absorb the moisture as well. There we go. Next question then, please, Louise.
Okay. Can anyone recommend a good source for a ball burr set in Europe? Can you recommend?
Deja vu. Birch.
Oh, yeah, but you've answered that before.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
sorry, I answered that. Yeah, I answered that when we
Before
were when I thought
live.
yeah. So definitely birch burrs. They are everywhere. Rebecca from Netherlands. Yeah. Don't know. But there's lots of distributors in your country. Or go to birch.eu, I think. BUSCH. They should have a list of distributors there. But any branded burr like Birch or something like Comet, they are going to be nice burrs as well. If you can afford them, get the carbide tipped or carbide ended drills. They will last you a lot longer as well. Next question then, please.
Okay, Susan is asking, would you consider a broadcast on setting problems with stones, such as emerald, opal and other breakables? Oh, that'd be good.
No.
Watch Andrew break stones live.
Why do you do this? I will consider it. Whether I'll do it, I don't know.
Better stock up on the opals.
Why? This is the thing.
Is
Isn't
it just one of those things that happens to the best of us then? Do you
I think
We're not saying that you are the best in my eyes, but
there's got to be experience because I've said this before on the lives, I've always been set in and I go, oh, that claw isn't down far enough, and you just squeeze that claw down and the stone breaks, and you think, just why? It was safe, but I didn't think it was down far enough. Why didn't I leave it? Because now I got to replace the stone.
But then does that come down to like weaknesses in certain positions in the stones, or is it just the fact that even you can be as experienced and as highly skilled as you and still bust the stone? That's just
they
life.
can. I remember having a really expensive sapphire in, and the setter said, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to be responsible for this stone.
Yeah.
So my client had to take out insurance for the setter to set it.
And what happened?
It was fine. But that's the sort of thing, even experienced and skilled setters, just something may go wrong, or there may be a little fracture or something within the stone that is right where they're just putting the claw down on, and it splits, it cracks, it chips. It's just one of those things.
Life.
Yes.
Depends whether the stone gods are
looking favourably,
down on you that particular day.
Exactly. So I suppose if we're gonna do it, we could get lots of questions in, and then we can answer those questions whilst we're doing the broadcast, I'm sure. But it's all about knowing how far you can go.
I think as well, knowing obviously the knowledge, the basic properties of the stone as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that would be a good
place.
That'd be a good one to do. Which ones to take? Maybe. I mean, you have to be careful with all of them, don't you? But which ones are most likely to go, if any?
Yes.
Not that you can be complacent with any stone.
And the problem with opals is that they absorb moisture. So even though you may have it nice and tight in, obviously you're going to have most of it in the bezel, but if it absorbs moisture, it'll expand. When it gets warm, moisture evaporates, it'll shrink slightly. So this is the problems that you're going to get. So I think you do have to know the stones, their properties, their characteristics and so forth before you start to set, because you can't set a sapphire and use the same technique, the force and so forth, as you can with something like an emerald or an opal, because the stones are completely different. They cannot handle pressure. Be like me today, stressed out today, can't handle pressure today. Like Louise, yes, we certainly will consider that.
Yeah,
yes.
that would be fun.
Yes. May have another question.
Do a setting till it breaks to demonstrate.
What was that?
Do a setting until it breaks to demonstrate. Oh, I don't want to break the stones on purpose.
But then the problem is you can't say, okay, let's push this claw, let's see how far this claw will go before the stone breaks. It's great because I'm in here and the cameras can be here, but when you're looking at it, you don't know how much pressure I'm putting on it or anything. So it's up to you to do these experiments yourself to know how far you can go with the pressure and so forth. So I think it's just experience. If you can buy some really cheap opals, buy some scrap rings in, because that would be a brilliant idea. You've got scrap rings, there are stones are scratched, you can't reuse. Just practice, putting force on them, abrading them, tapping them with a hammer. Can they go in the ultrasonic, the steamer, and just to see what happens to them. But everyone's not as fortunate as to be able to. Anyway, to have scrap coming in. Let's have another question, please, Louise.
Okay. Perhaps we should...
Azure Sky, yes, the... sorry, we took to jump in here.
A collection of
scrap stones,
crackled opals and things that have been damaged, and just for the purposes of
demonstration.
People can, see
how
far they can go with them type thing.
Perhaps we can sell them. Might be an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But,
see what we've got.
But Azure Sky, yes, these do get put on YouTube. I think they have to render when they finish, but they are, and they stay on YouTube, absolutely. So maybe have another question then, please, Louise.
Okay. Oh, Janet is saying, one of the things I would like to say about being a member, Janet loves the forum, new member section, suddenly lots of lovely new people. Yay!
Yeah, we've had
great,
lots of new members joining up, and it's lovely to see everyone introduce themselves. So so thank you very much for those, and also thank you to everybody who's replying as well. It's absolutely lovely, thank you.
Claire from Bijou is loving the nylon polishing brushes. So yeah, they are good. They do...
Even you've been using those, Louise.
But I still get it all over my face.
Well, you do. Well, okay, so the thing is, when you're doing this, you're right above what you're doing, like this. So
me or everyone is just
you.
Just me.
well, you. I don't know what everybody else does.
It's when you've got it on your finger and you don't know, and I did that, didn't I?
Yes.
I went like that.
Oh, hang on, do it again because I don't have the camera on you.
I polish all over my finger, and I went like that and didn't know. And I went around looking like Charlie Chaplin for the rest of the morning. Nobody told me.
But the idea is that you don't look over, you don't angle it towards you. You sort of go back a bit, so it's going. Yeah, so you don't look over. Yeah, okay. Don't look over the top. You just come back a little bit, and
I'm trying to keep my back straight. See, I'm thinking about my posture. So.
Yeah, what's the posture? Yeah. Just come back a bit, lean it over this way, and then it doesn't go over your face. But what were you wearing? You were trying to wear a visor. You were trying to wear one of those clear protective screens in front of you, fastened onto your forehead and thing. I didn't
want it spraying in my face. I know. Shame on them. I agree, Paul. Yeah, I went around like it all morning.
But that's the idea. We find Jason goes down to the shops many times with dirt all over his face. Looks a bit like a sad version of Adamant from Prince Charming.
Okay, should we have another question?
Yes, sorry, we digress.
Yeah, Tammy is back. Welcome back, Tammy. I think I read you can use gold solder to embellish silver jewellery. Do you know anything about this? Yeah,
some people, especially Sonny from All the Glitters, he's been using some 18-carat solder on his silver rings to produce a little bit of colour. And you can use solder. Using solder as a feature, I think, is not that good because it is purely solder. But if you use it for the purpose, as in being a joint, yes. If you add more solder for the purpose, I think that's a bit naff. I would be inclined to perhaps have some gold leaf and do perhaps some Kembu and heat it up and burnish it into the silver. That would be far, far better. Or even using some thin gold sheet for embellishments or little gold balls upon the silver. Anything bigger than a seam where you solder a joint or solder two pieces together, I think it would be better if you actually use a piece of gold. Oh yes, this is just a ring. I really love this ring. Can't get it off, Louise. This is a ring that I can't resize. I can't resize this one. It's a gorgeous ring from Thomas Sabo, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
It's nice,
it's all black cubic zirconias are all set. They look like they've been set when it was cast, but they run all the way around. Really, really awesome. It's got Thomas Sabo on the underneath, and it is an absolutely gorgeous ring. How much? 270 pounds, Louise, something like that. But you can't resize it.
I don't think we've got that one in stock anyway.
You can't resize it, unfortunately. It's just one of those things. But yeah, it is a lovely, lovely ring.
It is nice, isn't it?
Let me have another question, please, Louise.
Okay. Paul is saying, has anyone been jet hunting around Whitby? Have you ever been?
No, never been. No, I think Kerry from Gemology Rocks.
She's been there recently, yeah.
She was over that way, wasn't she?
She's got a friend who's also a gemologist who I'm not sure what she does actually. Sarah Caldwell?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So if you speak to Kerry, she'll be able to give you lots of information and advice on that.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Nikki is saying, do you have a titanium clip which holds 10mm for sale?
Do I have a titanium clip?
Do you have a titanium clip which holds 10mm?
Holds 10mm. 10mm. What do you mean? Do you mean titanium strips that can hold 10mm? Do you mean as in these titanium strips? I mean, you said titanium. Is that right? Titanium strips contain that will hold.
Clips.
Whoa! Our thingy majiggy's going off again. It goes off randomly, Louise. Look at it. Why is it going off? Mrs. Louise, she's coming back to us.
She hasn't put in the beer. I think
every Monday she wants to come along. Look. Let's turn that off. I'm not quite sure. Do we have a titanium clip that holds 10mm? Can you just elaborate a little bit more?
Can you give us a bit more info?
Do you mean a titanium strip that you can make up into a clamp that will hold 10mm?
Oh, to solder a 10mm cube.
Yeah, with the clamps you can make these whatever you want, whichever way you want. There's all different types of clamps of all different things. Yep. That you can make them and bend them and shape them into whatever you want, as you can see, like that, there. And you can make it so there's a 10mm gap, absolutely. So yes, titanium strips. They are on the website. I'm just waiting for a delivery this week, titanium clamps, but andrewberry.co.uk/shop. They are on there, along with the bristle brushes. Yes, Lou?
Nothing.
Okay. Maybe have another question.
Yes. Kristen has been water casting after watching your video. Some are sparkly silver and some look brassy and coppery. What is the best way to get them back to silver? I don't have a tumbler.
Just pop them in acid. Perhaps you could bring them out of the water, warm them up with a torch, quench them in the acid, or if you've got a nice bit of warm pickle, you could always put them in there and that should get the oxides off. A barrel polisher wouldn't, because a barrel polisher burnishes the surface, so it would only burnish that colour further into the surface. So I wouldn't use a barrel polisher, but acid would strip the oxides, which is what you can see. Warm acid or heat them up gently, quench them in acid so it goes when you put it in, and that will get perhaps if there may be a bit of flux on it perhaps, or the discoloration. You should be able to get them back nice and clean. Or if you have a little baby bottle warmer, don't know why I'm pointing here because that isn't a baby bottle warmer, but if you do have a baby bottle warmer with another container inside the water bath full of pickle, you can use that and that will warm up and remove all the oxides. Next question, please.
Okay. Elsaby is new to jewellery making and busy buying tools. Would you recommend a tumbler or polishing machine for a home studio for my polishing?
Don't bother with a tumbler. I would always buy a bench mounted polishing motor. You can pick up in places like, you don't have to buy the expensive ones. Obviously like Durston produced the single spindle, double spindle. What are they, £600 for a single spindle, £1,000 for a double spindle. There is no need for that. You can go to your local Screwfix, and I've got one, so bear with me a second. I shall put the camera on to Louise and she can have a bit of a chit chat for about 30 seconds while I go and get it. Bear with me. 30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay.
You hate it when I do this, don't you?
I do hate it when you do this because I've not prepared anything. Not anything for me to answer on here, I don't think. Yes. Who's doing the jet hunting? Paul. Who are you doing it with, Paul? I'd love to know. Jet and amber hunting.
Oh, nice.
Because Lord Christopher,
yes,
Mr. Lime Punch Forge, does rock hounding. Is it called rock hounding?
I think it is, yes.
Yeah, and they go searching for, that's in Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's worth a trip to America. Always wanted to go.
So
I saw it on Instagram the other day. It looked really fun.
It does.
Romy saying, tell us about your earrings. Oh, these are...
Clog eyes.
Clog eye, yeah.
Absolutely. So...
Are you going on... Oh, are you... Oh, that's cool. Paul, are you going on your own then?
Paul's what?
It's not like an organised trip or...
Paul's going to Whitby.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, fab.
Is it going to be...
Put some pictures on the forum, Paul. I'd love to see.
Right. This is a polishing motor, or a bench grinder motor. This is something called Titan. This is available from somewhere like Screwfix, and it comes in a box and it has your grinding wheels and guards on the side. But what we've done here, we've got some of these little piggy tails, and they're called pigtails because these little ends here look like piggy tails. Yeah, the winding. Yeah, okay. They're called pigtails, pigtail ends. So I don't make up this stuff, Louise. And you can simply thread them onto the shaft of the bench grinder, and there's little Allen bolts here that you can screw them and tighten them onto it, and then you have got your own little polishing motor. Fasten it to the bench. I'm going to remove this off here because that's my key to the shop. Fasten it to the bench. This has a little light. I have never turned this on, so I'm going to turn it on. Oh, look at that. That's cool. There is a light as well, but I don't know why the light hasn't come on. Don't know whether that's a separate button. Don't know. So that's something that you can pick up really, really cheap. It's something called Titan. It's not going to be obviously as good as a jewelry branded polishing motor, but in your little studio, as long as you've got some mops to go on the ends, it is going to do the job. So you don't need to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds. I think that Titan bench grinder, or any sort of bench grinder, as long as you can take the ends off and the guards off, you can put those little pigtails on, make sure you get the left and the right in the right direction, and then you can put some mops on. Absolutely brilliant. Definitely recommend a polishing motor. Your polishing will be absolutely amazingly fantastic and shiny, much better than a barrel polisher. Because a barrel polisher will just burnish the surface. If there's any marks in the surface, the marks will still be there. But with that sort of grinder, that sort of polishing motor, triply on one side, rouge on the other side, you can then polish up your jewellery. Absolutely fabulous. Okay, that was a long answer. Maybe have another question.
Yeah. Len is saying, what is the best way to use textured laser paper in the rolling mill?
Laser paper. So obviously it's one use. Louise, can you just reach up into the top cupboard? There's a little packet of black foam. Yes, middle shelf. That's it, you got it.
Oh, hang on. Oh, that's falling on me.
So what I would...
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a bit silly, isn't it?
No,
ow!
okay.
Oh, I just dropped my hands in the cupboard. That's karma, isn't it?
Karma. Right. What I'd suggest you get is something that is the closed. You all right?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
I thought you'd catch it.
It's some closed cell foam. This is 2 millimeters in thickness. You can buy 3 millimeter and 4 millimeter. I would always try and use 4 millimeter. What I would do is get your piece of metal, and I'm going to use. This is my piece of metal. So what I would do, this is how I would do it. I get my piece of metal. This isn't metal, this is a bit of plastic, but that'll be my metal. This is going to be my laser card. Put one on top of the other like that. I would then put that in the rolling mill. Okay, open the mills nice and wide. Put that in, leave it there with your hand, not squash your hand, but screw down the top until the rollers come and they just grip it like that. So it's just gripping, okay? Find on the dial where the little pointer comes to, open it, pull this out, put it back to where it was, all right? Then you get this. You would get a double thickness of this foam, put that on top of your metal, laser paper, and perhaps you then would have that on top like this, okay? Then I would wrap that in another sheet of paper to hold all that together like that, okay? Then pass that through the rolling mill. And I have found that this closed cell foam, when it's doubled, it's 4mm, it is squashed and it's sacrificial, they call it, and you can only have a one use out of it. But there's enough pressure to force that paper into the metal, but make sure the metal is nicely annealed. And I feel that is the best way. Every single time you will get fantastic results. Every time. Sometimes people say, well, okay, well, open it up, take it out, put it in, and then turn it a quarter of a turn or an eighth of a turn. That for me is just a little bit too, I know it sounds silly, a bit haphazard, because sometimes things like paper may squash more than lace, or if you've got some feathers you want to put through, it depends on the thickness. But this foam, because there's a bit of squishiness about it, it will push that texture into the silver or the copper, whatever you're doing. And that's the technique that I would use when it comes to doing some roller printing. I'll keep this on my bench until we finish. I wouldn't want to throw it back at you, Louise. Maybe we have another question, please, Louise. I like that one. That was good.
Yeah, Kudoki is saying, what would be your advice to size a 14 karat yellow gold and aquamarine ring a size down? I am so anxious the stone could break even with a cooling paste.
Okay, so make sure that you have enough cool heat or thermogel. They say roughly around about 1 centimetre, about 10mm all the way around the stone in all directions. Make sure the joint, if you're resizing it, is on the opposite side of the ring. So you've got your here's your block by here. Here is your cool heat here. Here is the ring that comes out like this. So make sure now that the joint is by here, the furthest point away from the ring, because your ring's here and here is the head, and I presume like the stone is down here. Like that. Okay, so this is your cool heat, the stone's inside, centimetre all around. Okay, so here's in theory your ring here on a block like this, and you put the paste all around here like this, so you cover it all over. Here's the join by here. You heat this up, and if you heat it up with a torch, a little torch like this is going to take quite a while to heat it up. So I would always try and invest in something that's like a little bit bigger if you're using one of these. Durston have these for sale for about £30, dirt cheap. There's a discount on the site. If you go to durston.com/ATB, and if you're a member of At The Bench, you should be able to get another bit of discount off what is already a discounted price. Get yourself one of these at least, or grab yourself an oxygen and propane torch like the Smith's little torch, or a Hoke, or Hokey is it? Or simply a propane torch, and you've got to heat this area fast. The faster you can heat this area, the less heat is going to travel. So try and get as much cool heat down here as possible to protect the stone. And you should be okay. If the shank isn't too thick, you should be able to heat this up and get that soldered without a problem. So that would be my suggestion for that. Next question, please, my darling.
Okay. This is jumping about again. I need to start using that machine, I think.
Okay.
Tammy is saying, is there a link to the gold leaf that we were talking about for the solder embellishments?
There isn't.
Silver?
I don't have a link. If you actually get some foil, if you get some gold leaf, it's too thin. It has to be gold foil. If you're in the UK, Cookson sell it by the sheet. The gold foil is slightly thicker than leaf, but gold foil is what you're after. I think it's pure gold. It's only very, very thin, and a little bit does go a long way. And if you obviously then perhaps what's it called? Patina the silver. So silver goes back black, and the gold then really does stand out. It looks absolutely fabulous. But I don't have anything, but it is gold foil, not gold leaf. Next question, please, Louise.
Okay. Steve, hi Steve, is saying, have you ever acid etched sterling with wax to stop the etch?
No, I've never used wax. No, but I know it can be done. I've always used PNP paper, which is what the electronic industry uses for doing etched circuit boards, and you use a laser printer to print your design upon the PNP paper. I don't know anybody in this country that sells it, but I used to get mine, I think, over from Canada or America, and then you iron it onto your piece. So obviously the piece has to be completely flat, and I've used that in the past and it's been very good. But wax, never tried it, but apparently you can use it. It is a little bit not as accurate. If you want to do slightly freeform, you could use that.
Gillian is saying you can use nail polish.
Yeah, anything like that. Yeah, absolutely. I know people have actually even used overhead marker pens as well, although obviously depending on the strength of the acid, it may deteriorate the pen or the nail varnish and so forth. You can get some stop out lacquer as well. There's lots of things that you can use for that. But yeah, absolutely. Press and peel. Amazon sells it. Thank you, Lorraine. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Louise, you were saying that?
Dylan got a sweet deal on a 10k gold ring, 7 grams with a lab ruby for $10. I love my local thrift store.
Nice.
Amazing.
I like it.
Is a thrift store, is that like a charity shop here?
I would have thought so. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I always have a little bit of a mooch around the charity shops.
You love a charity shop, don't you? An antique shop.
Oh, an antique. Oh, I love
they smell.
Oh, don't be like that. They're old, aren't they?
They hold.
It's like some of the antiques can't be.
Yes,
No,
absolutely.
You can't say that. But that's really cool, Dylan. Because we went to a boot sale, didn't we?
Oh.
We went to a boot sale.
God.
Just for a mooch around, but it wasn't a very successful.
Time to start? 7:30 in the morning?
It was 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock was
Well,
it?
we had to get there 7:30 to queue. It was a waste of time.
And what did we smell in the queue at 7:30 in the morning?
Somebody was on the old wacky backy.
Someone's on weed that early in the morning. Gosh, I think the whole...
Well, any time of the day is, well, no, each to their own. I'm not, we're not here to judge, obviously, but...
7:30 in the morning.
It was pretty early, wasn't it?
It was pretty strong.
It's like I can smell something.
We have another question. Paul's just saying 23.5 carat yellow gold foil for Kembu, 3.5 inch square is £102. It's a little bit more expensive than what it was when I bought mine a few years back, but yes, you can use that. Obviously use it sparingly, and a little bit does go a long way. Cool.
Okay.
Next question.
Azure Sky is saying, what is the best way to melt silver at home?
The best way is to get yourself some solder boards, solderite boards, solder boards, something like these here. These are a little bit on the hard side. You don't get anything with asbestos, but I don't think anybody does anything with asbestos these days. Get yourself some of these and make yourself a little hearth. You can just grab a board like that, then you can get some little blocks, put some little blocks around it, or make yourself a little soldering station. You can grab yourself one of these torches I was just talking about, and then grab yourself a little crucible, a little 2-inch crucible. Make sure you heat it up, line it with some flux beforehand. There's plenty of films to be done on YouTube showing how to do that. And by having your little soldering station around you, so it has some more boards on the side here, keeps the heat in. Don't use kiln bricks or any household bricks, because that will absorb the heat. What you want to do is have the heat reflected back onto what you're melting down. Something like that is absolutely brilliant. Don't really do it on a wooden table. Try and keep perhaps like a baking tray underneath it to stop any molten silver perhaps damaging the surface. Make sure you get a bucket of water by the side of you, or a bucket of wet sand, in case anything should happen, or a fire extinguisher would be absolutely fine. But something like that keeps the heating contained using one of these torches, and you should be able to melt a good ½ ounce, 15-16 grams of silver using something like this. Absolutely. And if you want to know where these come from, Durston are selling them. Go to durston.com. He's got these. There's 2 different types. One's called a Cyclone. Not quite sure, haven't seen that, but I think the nozzle is a little bit finer on that one, but it's a big tank like this. Absolutely brilliant. They're worth their weight in gold. You can do an awful lot with those. Something like that would be ideal for melting at home. Obviously, perhaps do it in out in the garden, somewhere where it's confined, but out of the wind, or put it into a room with an open window where it's the smell or whatever isn't going to matter too much. But a nice baking tray underneath to catch anything and any dirt. Absolutely fantastic. Yes. Next, Louise, we have another question.
Dylan has had another lucky find. Found a bunch of red jasper yesterday by the Grand Canyon. Something of a magpie, aren't you?
Oh, wow.
Doing very well.
Very
that's
nice
so
indeed.
cool. Well done. Okay. Paul will be doing metal detecting on the beaches. Fab.
I did that. I had a metal detector. Steve, wow, thank you very much
me.
indeed. Thank you very much, Steve. Really
Thank you,
do appreciate
Steve. That's
it.
so kind.
We're trying to work something out, aren't we, with Steve at the moment?
Yep, we'll have a big chat about that next.
More will be coming next week. So thank you, Steve, for that. Really do appreciate it. But yeah, I had a metal detector when I was young, over in Weston-super-Mare. I went over my metal detector.
Did you ever find anything?
I did.
What
I
did you
found
find?
money.
How much money?
Well, there was
A guinea.
a guinea, ha, flip a guinea, and not that old. But I took it over there in the summer. It was when I was a kid. My parents bought, I can even tell you the model number of the metal detector. It was a C-scope TR80. And I found money on the beach. And the money I used from that, I bought a metal detecting book.
Oh, did you find any more from reading the book?
No, it's just money I found, and that's all I did. And I got bored after that then.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are saying about sea glass hunting, which is always fun, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We always try and have a look, don't we?
Well, you lie on the beach, and I go up and down on my own looking. You go to sleep.
And snore.
And snore.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were down in Tenby a few weeks ago, and I was tired. I put my head back. The sun was out. I had my shirt off. It was lovely and warm. And next thing I know, Louise is there with a camera over me, recording me snoring.
Oh, you did sound like a pig.
Oh, thanks. A wild boar. Yeah. And luckily we were at the end of the beach where there was nobody, so luckily no one heard me.
I think they did actually. Yeah, there was a chap in Adachi, the other side of the rock, heard you. Kept looking over. Didn't like to say. But yeah, okay, show it. Yeah, I could actually, couldn't I? I won't. No, I'll think about it.
Next question. If you want to show it, next
No, I
question
won't.
though, please do it.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. Susan's saying, come to the US and we'll rock hunt. I'd love that. I can't wait for
Lockdown.
getting back to normal and going to shows and meeting people. It's going to be amazing.
Jumping
isn't
on
it?
a plane again.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't been the sort of person who goes around in planes and holidays, that sort of thing, for the past 3-4 years I was doing the trade shows with Durston. But it's always, I'm always worked up going on a plane. When you get there and you see these amazing places, it is good fun. You work bloody hard putting the stand together and talking non-stop.
Last time I just swanned in when it was all done.
You did, because you came across, was it, to Basel, wasn't it? You wandered in all done. Oh, there we go. But yeah, that was a quiet show. That was a
cocktail?
That was a quiet show. But yeah, I'm missing that. And I'm missing going out and meeting people as well. Absolutely, I am.
Are there any gem shows in the UK? Oh, well, apparently there's one at the Royal Welsh.
I don't
But
know.
is it?
I don't think it's a proper show.
Is it
the
not?
Royal Welsh. No.
I can't remember where I saw it. It might have been on one of the groups and they were talking about a gem show.
Sandown
No.
Racecourse.
Well, you were talking about it. It was, we were going to go. When was it?
Chepstow. Oh, and that was about 2 weeks ago, a week ago. We missed
we
it.
missed it.
There was one in Chepstow Racecourse, wasn't there?
Hang on, let me see.
Chepstow Racecourse. We did miss it, Louise. It was that Sunday. We should have gone.
Oh, flip. Hang on. Chepstow Racecourse Gem Show.
Oh, they are 23rd, 24th of October.
Oh, there we are. Shall I pop the link?
Yeah,
It's a
please.
crazy long link. How do I shorten that?
Just to Rock and Gem Show, Chepstow Racecourse, and just
If
leave
you
it at that.
Google, yeah, Paul, if
There
you
you go. That's it,
Google...
Lou, on the top now.
Oh, here we are. Chepstow Racecourse in Monmouthshire, Chepstow. Yeah, it looks like there's one in Well, that must have been the one we saw then, was it?
Must be then, yeah.
It looks quite good. Do you have to pre-purchase?
Don't know. Okay, pop the link in.
Let me pop the link on.
Pop the link in. And
Here we are.
Cool. All right.
It was cancelled.
Oh, was it?
Oh, is that what was cancelled, Trevor? Dylan's close to the Tucson Gem show. Oh, you jammy thing.
You see, I said to you, didn't I, last night, should we go to Tucson next year?
But then if you're going to Vicenza,
Yeah.
I don't think they overlap, but they nearly do.
Then I'd have to be flying from Tucson to Vicenza.
It's just
The
have to
life
go
of
to
a
Tucson
jet
on my
setter.
own.
But yes, there is a show in there. I went to Sandown Race Course. There's supposed to be a gem show there, but it was absolutely just little piddly little beads and.
They
just
rescheduled
wasn't
for
good.
October, Trevor's saying. So yeah,
okay.
there we are. Great.
And do you know what? If we
See
can,
you all there.
If we can arrange something, possibly we can meet up for a coffee there. So if anybody wants to go to Chepstow Race Course, we can meet up, can't we?
Yeah.
And we can have a coffee and have a chat, and we can meet everybody, and that'd be absolutely fantastic if we could.
I don't know if you have to get to buy tickets or receive a newsletter. There's a Facebook page. I'm getting into trouble getting my words out today. The Rock, Bead, Gem and Bead Show, I'm guessing it's going to say.
Yep, it has 13,000. Yeah, Rock, Gem and Bead Show. It's on Facebook.
People like this, so it's
nice. Okay, we shall do that.
That's like a lot of fun.
Put that in your book. 23rd, 24th of October this year. We can meet up.
Tickets on the door. No, look, this lot will get in now before us.
Can you imagine?
Andrew,
no, come in.
We're full. £5 day pass. Cool.
Well do that, shall we?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, we can meet up and have a look.
It's on for 2 days, so we'll have to sort that out a bit closer to the time.
We will,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool.
Obviously, it's nothing like the Tucson show. The Tucson show is the best.
It's the mecca,
best.
isn't it? Of
but never been, but
gems,
would love to go.
Oh, Anna's been. How did you find it, Anne?
Went to one at the weekend in Harrogate.
Oh, it was the different one, yeah. Oh, cool. So there are ones going on. They have the bead fair on Sandown Park Racecourse. The last time they had loads of gems, 16th of October.
See, I went to Sandown quite a few years ago. That was really cool. That was when At the Bench started first. And I made T-shirts with At the Bench on and got the kids to wear it.
Did
they
you?
walked around,
They look so cute.
Okay, Louise, maybe have another question, please.
Yes. Can you recommend an investment for lost wax casting without a vacuum system for mixing?
Not really, no. It does have to be, you do have to vacuum. It is amazing the amount of air that does get trapped. Who said that? Sorry, Louise, are they in the UK?
No, Germany.
Germany, okay. You can buy a little, let me just grab that as well for you a second. I won't put it onto you. You can buy this that we can use. Let me just grab this a minute for you guys. Let me show you. Hello, Sean. It looks like a tin to be cooking with, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, so this is something that you may be able to pick up.
Oh, I'll put your tea ready then.
It looks like a pressure cooker, doesn't it? Let's do that nice and wide. So this is something that we've acquired. It's a tin, and there's a lid, a rubber seal around there, and on the rubber, in the rubber, we have a pressure gauge and a tube, okay? That tube will go out to a compressor that will suck out the air. I'm selling this. If anybody wants this, I'm selling this for about £100. It is a chamber that you can vacuum. So for instance, if you're doing lost wax casting, you can vacuum your investment. If you're doing some room temperature vulcanizing, you can put your mold in here and it will suck out all the air. So it's a little vacuum chamber. If you want to pick up this, I'm selling this particular one, about £100. The compressor, including the compressor is quite, it's quite heavy, so hence the reason why it would be £100 plus the carriage. So if you're interested, only in the UK, I'm not shipping anywhere else, but something like this you can pick up really, really inexpensively, so you don't need the big vacuum chambers, but something like this, as you can see by there, it's just, yeah, so, yeah, so does that move? I think this moves. This is your little tap on here. There we go, that's the tap on there. And the compressor will suck the air out. So this is something that you do need, otherwise you can't do successful lost wax casting because there's too much air in the investment. But if you're interested in that, I am selling that. Just drop me a message, the first person to message, and I'll tell you how much the carriage is going to be. PM me in the various ways, contact me whichever way you want to, and you can buy that off me for 100 quid. Next question then, please, Louise.
Okay, Mike is asking, what is the best way to create a seat with a jump ring in a tube setting? I'm having trouble getting the jump ring to stay level while soldering.
Okay, so depends, are you putting the jump ring so like halfway down the tube? Because what you can do is grab yourself a ball burr. Okay, so that's your ball burr, and you've got your tube. This is a cross section through the tube. Okay, that's your cross section. So this is your cross section through the tube. Yeah. So then here's your tube here, like that, and there's that there. Okay, so this is the tube. Okay, get your ball burr. Decide on how far you want the jump ring to come down. And what you want to do, you want to put the burr inside the tube and get the ball burr, and what you want to do is cut out a little groove at the point you want the jump ring to go to. Yep, so this then is just taken out. So for argument's sake, you've got your burr coming in here. Okay, so here's your tube. You want to burr out a little groove, very shallow, not very deep, not very far into the wall, just shallow enough so you get your jump ring fits inside the tube perfectly. So open the jump ring up slightly so there's a gap in it, so you've got to push it down into the tube, and as you push it into the tube, when it gets down to here, to where this area is by here, the jump ring will fit into there and it'll just spring out to locate in the groove that you have cut all the way around. So here's that. So here's the groove running all the way around. Yeah, does that make sense? Otherwise the jump ring can go in here and it goes all over the place. But if you've made a little groove all the way around the inside of the tube, ball burr, the jump ring that you have. Okay, so here's your jump ring, but there has to be a little gap in the jump ring like that. Okay. So the jump ring, the diameter of the jump ring here, it's a fraction bigger than the diameter here. So there's a gap in it, so it'll spring. It'll spring closed when it goes inside the tube, and then when it gets to where you've burred it, it'll open out and it will stay in place. Let's have one more question, shall we, Louise?
Okay.
It is 5 o'clock.
Okay, Mike is asking, will a graphite stir rod help remove contaminants?
It doesn't.
While melting?
The stir rod is used to stir your molten silver. It just swirls it all around. It won't necessarily remove contaminants. You use it, or you can use like a stick of charcoal, something like that, to stir, because it is the carbon within it that helps the metal swish around, stir it around, and that then does not contaminate the metal. Use a separate one for gold than silver. So you have two graphite rods, one to swish your silver, one to swish your gold with. But it does not help remove it. The only way it helps remove it is if there's any slag on the top of your silver. Slag, is that Louise? Slag. If there's any slag on top of it, you can use that to pull it off into the crucible, into the graphite crucible, or into the normal crucible. Childish, aren't we?
Shut it, you slag.
And for that, we get another question, Louise.
Okay. Yes, Kenneth is asking, is there an easy way to find the right size of cut burr to round off either a claw or earring loop?
Okay, so if you think about a cup burr, a cross section through a cup burr is going to be like that. Okay, so there's that, and your teeth are however they are. Okay, not even that much, is it? It's like more like that, isn't it? It's like that. So what I would do, if you're using it to round off the end of an earring wire, if you're using 0.8 millimeter diameter wire, don't use a 0.8 diameter cup burr. It's going to be too close. Perhaps go up to about a 1 millimeter, 1.2, 1.5, so the wire fits in down there like that. Okay, then you can get the cup burr and just move the cup burr around, knowing that these edges here are not going to cut into the metal. If you had a piece of wire that was exactly the same size as your cup burr, it's not going to go in. It's not going to go into the cup burr. So always have the cup burr bigger than the wire. So 0.8 millimeter wire, perhaps do 1.2, 1.5 millimeter cup burr. So always go bigger, and that allows you then to get the cup burr to go around the wire like that to round the outside edge, and you should be fine with that. If you're using it on a claw, again, bigger. Don't use the same size as the claw itself. So perhaps you've got a claw, say you've got a rectangular claw that's say 1 by 1 millimeter by say 1.5. Have a cup burr about 1.8, 2 millimeter, the distance for the biggest area there, and it'll round off the edges, not a problem. But the important thing with a cup burr is slow. Never have it on a very high speed. Slow speed. Lubricate the cup and just move it round. Some people say if the move it round in the opposite direction to the direction of rotation. Okay, so if the burr is going in this direction, okay, yeah, when you get the cup burr, even though it's rotating this direction, rotate it in the opposite direction, and that will give you a much better rounded end to the metal, whether it be a needle wire or your claw. So if it's going in this direction, okay, clockwise, don't move the burr clockwise, go anti-clockwise, and it'll produce a better burr. Burr, bald end. That's it, Louise.
That is it, is it?
I think that'll be it for this evening, don't you?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that needs to be addressed?
Paul's asking me for an email for Gemology Rocks. If you use the one on the website, it goes to Victoria, doesn't it? Who's the
little gem,
the office gem. Yeah. So she's really helpful, and we'll be able to help you, Paul. I don't have any other details, I'm afraid. Yeah, cool.
All right, that's very good.
You can Facebook Gemology Rocks if you're on Facebook. There's a Facebook page, and you can message them. And I know Victoria mans that as well, but yeah, Kerry would have access to that too, I would imagine, on the Gemology Rocks Facebook page, that is, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Don't forget, if you're watching and you're not a member of At The Bench, www.atb.yt99. Instead of paying £180 for the membership, you will only pay £99. That is only available until the end of August this year, 2021.
I just realised I copied Chepstow Racecourse, and that wasn't on my clipboard. atb.yt/.
Yes, cool.
So here we are. Cool.
Yeah, and we give away tools every month. We reward people who are active on the forum, who post lovely things. And it's just a lovely community, lots of giveaways and lots of things to come. New
so many
films
gorgeous,
every week.
helpful people.
They are helpful, aren't they?
Yeah.
So thank you everybody who participates on there. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay then, Louise, shall we go and have some tea?
Yeah.
I think so. Anything else just quickly coming in? I can see. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Paul, Dylan, Claire, Lara, Romy, Ines.
Show us some photos of your finds. Put them on the forum. I'd love to see.
Absolutely.
Put them in the gemology section. It'd be great.
Azure, thank you so much indeed. Sandra as well. Negotiator, Ines, thank you. Everyone, thank you all very much. You've been really lovely today. haven't they? It's
Yeah.
been quite an interesting mixed bag today on the
been
chat,
good, yeah,
isn't
very
it?
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've got my report, my At the Bench members feedback report to carry on reading through. We will
You've got to read through, and
I
you-
shall put an action plan together, and I shall pass that past you. Pass it past you. Yeah. To see what you think, and
Yeah.
we should be acting upon that over the next few months.
It's going to be good.
Next week we won't be here on Monday. 'Cause it's a bank holiday.
Woohoo!
We're here on Tuesday. Ah. So next week we won't be here Monday, but we'll be here on Tuesday. So bank holiday here in the UK. It's the last bank holiday before Christmas. Woohoo!
Don't mention the C word, please.
It's Christmas.
It's far
Yes,
too
it's
early.
Christmas. Thank God it's Christmas. What? What? It's Christmas.
No.
Exactly. Yes, bank holiday. Yeah.
Yeah. But
So-
anyway, bank holiday, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we're here on the 31st, aren't we?
And then the week after,
We're not here. We're away. We're having another break, aren't we? So you won't see us for that week. Will they? Are you thinking what? Do a live? Do a live on our holiday? No, we
know.
couldn't. Because Matt and Grace can be with us as well.
yeah,
Yeah, we could. Okay, we'll see.
we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay,
I
but we'll be here next
think you
Tuesday.
missed everyone when we didn't do it on that Monday. You missed everyone, didn't you?
I did.
You missed it. You said, oh, should we do a live? Should we do a live? You said, should we do a live? But the reception where we were was absolutely atrocious.
We were just in the awning outside a caravan. And do you all have Thanksgiving over there? No, we don't, do we?
No,
really?
we don't,
We just have Halloween and then Christmas.
Bonfire night.
Halloween, bonfire night, and then we have Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. You say that as if you love Christmas.
I love Christmas.
You don't love the run up to Christmas.
No, I hate the run up to Christmas. December's the worst time.
It's fun though, isn't it?
I've always said my kids saw more of Father Christmas than what they did of me in December.
Aw.
Because that's what Christmas is like for me. And it'll be for you this year. You mind you feel last year we were in lockdown, weren't we? 3-4 days
You
before.
might have been, mate. I worked myself so I did a migraine Christmas Eve. I couldn't do a thing. Literally.
Kenneth,
Not
thank
doing
you.
that this year.
It won't be yet. Remember the 5th of November. Yes, standard fireworks. Like the sky with standard fireworks. That's years ago.
Christmas
Thank you.
makes me sweat. No, it's going to be good.
Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you for your kind words. All right, then, Louise. We will see you all next Tuesday. Is it the 31st?
Is it the 31st?
What day is the 31st of August?
Stuck on your calendar.
Tuesday. We will see you 4 p.m. the 31st of August. Won't we, Louise?
Yes, we will.
Anything else you want to say to the lovely people up there?
No, nothing I can think of.
Okay.
Have a great week.
Who gave Gillian? Steve. Steve Satow very kindly gave us the $50. Stay tuned for a few things we got planned with Steve.
Do another marathon Boxing Day.
Really? Do another marathon?
Don't put ideas in his head. Look, you can't be serious.
What?
Boxing Day.
No. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Everyone, stay safe, be good, enjoy your jewellery making. Don't forget we're here next Tuesday, the 31st of August. Louise, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And we will see you all next week. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the week. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. Bye for now. I gotta find Fade to Black again, Louise. I should always keep my finger on it, shouldn't I? Bye.
Bye.